Choosing the right trustee is one of the most important decisions you will make when setting up a trust in Dubai. Whether your goal is long term asset protection, family succession, or cross border planning, the trustee you appoint will ultimately control and manage those assets. And if that decision goes wrong, it can completely defeat the entire purpose of your structure. In Dubai, particularly in jurisdictions like DIFC and ADGM, trusts are recognized under the common law. That means you can appoint either a professional trust company or an individual person who meets the legal and regulatory requirements depending on your objectives. But the key is understanding what actually makes someone a good trustee. It's not just about who you can trust personally. It's about who can fulfill the legal, fiduciary, and operational responsibilities that comes with managing a trust. And that is what we are going to discuss in today's video. Before we start, my name is Shiraz Wahid and I'm the co-founder at Leopardus Wealth, where we have helped many of our clients and families with trust, foundation, and other asset protection strategies in Dubai. If you would like my help in doing the same, you can apply for a free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link in the description below. So let's start by looking at what the trustee is legally responsible for. When you appoint a trustee, you are transferring legal ownership of the trust assets to them. Their job is to manage those assets in line with the trust deed for the benefits of the beneficiaries. That might sound simple, but it carries serious legal weight. Trustees have a fiduciary duty, meaning that they must act in good faith, avoid conflicts of interest, and always put the interest of the beneficiaries first. This also means that trustee can be held personally liable if they mismanage the assets, fail to follow the trust deed, or breach their duties. So whoever you choose as a trustee needs to be both capable and willing to accept that responsibility. And more importantly, they must be able to demonstrate that capability to regulators, banks, auditors, and possibly even courts. The next question to ask is whether this trustee will pass the compliance checks. In today's global financial environment, most trusts will need to open bank accounts, onboard with custodians, or invest through licensed platforms. And every one of those institutions will perform due diligence on the trustee. If you appoint someone who is not properly qualified or who raises red flags from a compliance perspective, it could block your structure from functioning. So while appointing a friend or a family member might seem convenient, it's often not practical, especially if the trust holds significant assets or operate internationally. In those cases, it is usually best to appoint a licensed trust company. These are regulated entities with proper infrastructure, internal controls, and professional indemnity coverage. And because they do this full time, they understand how to manage distributions, file regulatory reports, maintain accounts, and coordinate with tax and legal advisors. But that doesn't mean you should appoint just any corporate trustee. In Dubai, there are several trust companies licensed in DIFC and ADGM, but their quality differs. Some are well established with strong reputation and real substance on the ground. Others are just nominally licensed with minimal operations and may outsource all of their functions. You need to ask the right questions. Who are the directors? Where are they based? Do they have local staff or everything is outsourced? How do they handle client reporting, distributions, and compliance reviews? Are they also familiar with the type of assets your trust will hold? Do they have experience working with clients from a country of residence? Another important factor is independence. A good trustee must be impartial. That's especially critical when beneficiaries include family members who may have competing interests or have large sums involved. If the trustee is too close to one party or they have any personal interest in the outcome, it can create real problems. This is one of the reasons many clients avoid appointing family members as sole trustee. However, you do have flexibility in the structure. For example, you can appoint a professional trust company as the primary trustee and then add private protector or advisory committee. The protector's job is to oversee the trustee with powers to remove them or veto a major decision. This gives you a layer of oversight without compromising the trustee's independence. In some cases, clients also set up reverse powers, allowing them to retain control over key functions like asset sales or investment decisions. But these must be carefully drafted to avoid undermining the trust's legal validity. Now, let's consider the cost. Hiring professional trustee is not cheap, especially if the structure is complex or involves multiple jurisdictions. But trying to save cost by appointing an unqualified trustee usually costs more in the long run. Poor decisions, non compliance, or even legal disputes can destroy the asset's value. And once the trust is lost between beneficiaries and the trustee, it's very difficult to restore. This is particularly important in families with younger beneficiaries or where assets are expected to grow substantially over time. A professional trustee can provide continuity over stability and governance over decades, something individuals may struggle to do as their personal circumstances will change. Finally, remember that trustees does not operate in isolation. They will work closely with your legal, tax, and investment advisors. So it's worth choosing a trustee who is collaborative, responsive, and willing to coordinate across jurisdictions. Ideally, they should be also familiar with your home country tax and reporting rules. For example, if you are an Australian, a UK resident, or Indian NRI, the trustee must be able to support the specific disclosures and compliance requirements that apply to you. Choosing the right trustee is not about finding the cheapest one or the most convenient option. It's about protecting your legacy, safeguarding your assets, and ensuring your wishes are followed without disruption or dispute. The trust itself is only as strong as the people managing it. If you own a business or real estate, don't wait for legal or health crisis to start thinking about protecting your wealth. Many people think asset protection is only for ultra wealthy. But the reality is that some of these solutions cost as much as setting up a free zone company in Dubai. If you want to secure what you have built and ensure your legacy, you can request your free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link in the description below. And if you're serious about building long-term financial security, you should really check out my next video right here.